50 Cent said, "I just got the papers. Don't ever in your life play with me." He got a effing 60-month loan on a '08. It will be 2025 when you out that car. Power in 3.
What happens when hip-hop beef collides with royal wealth and global politics? Cent just found out the hard way after rumors spread that he's been blacklisted in Dubai, and it all started when he called French Montana's fairy tale engagement the biggest scam of his career.
Why were you targeted?
You're such a good guy.
It's my past.
It was a drug thing?
No,
like
it's
a
just
business thing?
karma.
The story begins with whispers coming out of Dubai's entertainment circles. Whispers that say 50 Cent has been quietly blacklisted. Now, in most cases, rumors in hip-hop can be brushed off as trolling or fan speculation. But this time, insiders insist the consequences are real. For years, Dubai has been a lucrative market for American rappers, with massive performance fees, luxury sponsorships, and global exposure. To suddenly be iced out of that world is no small matter. It can mean losing millions in show money and brand partnerships. So how did 50 Cent find himself in this position? The spark was French Montana's high-profile engagement to Sheikha Mahra, daughter of Dubai's prime minister. On paper, it looked like the perfect union of hip-hop fame and royal power. But 50 Cent couldn't resist turning French's moment into his latest target. Known for mocking rivals, 50 suggested the engagement wasn't about love at all. He painted it as a hustle, a scam worth $200 million designed to secure generational wealth. In any other rap beef, this might have been brushed off as typical shade. Yet the difference here is who was involved. Sheikha Mahra isn't just an influencer or celebrity. She represents one of the most powerful royal families in the world, with billions tied up in politics, business, and global reputation. When 50 chose to frame her engagement as fraud, he wasn't just trolling French Montana, he was suggesting that a Dubai princess and her family were part of a shady money play. That's the kind of statement that can ripple far beyond hip-hop headlines. And according to those insiders, it did. The rumor is that Dubai promoters and event organizers quickly pulled back. Invitations dried up, contracts were canceled, and suddenly, 50 Cent's name wasn't on any of the high-paying lineups in the UAE. Whether officially blacklisted or not, the silence spoke volumes. French Montana's engagement wasn't just a romantic headline, it was a cultural shockwave. For fans who had followed his journey from the South Bronx to global stardom, the idea that he was now marrying into Dubai royalty felt almost surreal. This was a man who once sold street DVDs to survive, now suddenly tied to a family worth an estimated $20 billion. To some, it looked like the ultimate hip-hop success story. To others, it felt like the biggest bag snatch in history. Sheikha Mahra, at 31, is no ordinary bride. Her personal wealth is estimated between $300 million and $1.5 billion, and her family fortune stretches across politics, oil, real estate, and global business. When the engagement became public, the internet instantly lit up. Memes called French "set for life," while others joked about castles, yachts, and a future secured by generations of wealth. But beneath the humor was a serious undertone. Many questioned whether this was love or strategy. Fans recalled Mahra's public divorce, where she shocked the world by ending her marriage with a viral Instagram post. That bold move showed she was not afraid of controversy. And it also gave rise to speculation about her motives in choosing French. The engagement was flashy. The diamond ring alone worth $1.1 million, and every photo screamed luxury. But for critics like 50 Cent, the extravagance wasn't proof of romance. It was evidence of a calculated power move. If there's one thing consistent about 50 Cent, it's that he never stays quiet when he sees an opportunity to throw shade. Over the years, he has built a reputation for turning other people's wins into his own punchlines. And when French Montana popped up with a royal engagement, 50 wasted no time making it his business. But this time, his trolling went further than just jokes about cars or music. It touched on global power and royal politics. Reports suggest that 50 began, hinting publicly and privately that French's engagement was less about romance and more about hustling his way into unimaginable wealth. He described it as a scam, a hustle dressed up as love, and pushed the narrative that Montana's $200 million move was a calculated step to secure generational money. For longtime fans of their feud, This sounded like classic 50 loud, confrontational, and unapologetic. But the context changed everything. Hip-hop beef usually stays in its lane. It's about streams, labels, cars, or clout. Even when it gets ugly, it's still entertainment. This time, though, 50's accusations dragged the name of Sheikha Mahra and her royal family into the mix. And that's where the line was crossed. In Dubai, reputation is currency. The UAE has invested billions into branding itself as a land of untouchable luxury. Suggesting that a princess is part of a shady hustle doesn't just bruise egos. It risks damaging the image of the entire royal family. For Dubai, that kind of talk isn't tolerated, so while fans laughed at 50's usual antics, insiders say the royals didn't. What would normally be just another rap feud suddenly became a cultural and political issue, with consequences far heavier than an Instagram meme. To understand why 50 Cent's comments hit so hard, you have to understand how Dubai views its royalty. In the United States, celebrities are fair game. Rappers clown each other, late-night hosts make jokes about politicians, and social media thrives on roasting public figures. But in the UAE, royalty isn't just famous, it's sacred. Their reputations aren't simply about image. They're tied to politics, business, and the country's global identity. That's why calling out a royal engagement as a scam is seen as far more than a diss track. It's an insult to a system built on prestige and power. Sheikha Mahra is not only a wealthy princess, she is also a symbol of the UAE's modern image. Her lifestyle, jet-setting across Europe, launching luxury perfume brands and living in palaces, represents the kind of glamour Dubai wants the world to see. When French Montana entered that orbit, it was presented as a union of love and international culture. The photographs, the ring, the celebrations, they were meant to showcase Dubai's openness and elegance. Then came 50 Cent's remarks. By suggesting it was all a $200 million hustle, he wasn't just trolling French. He was implying that Dubai's ruling family could be manipulated, or worse, complicit in a scam. That type of allegation strikes at the very heart of what the UAE spends billions to protect, its image as an untouchable, luxury-driven kingdom. Insiders claim this is exactly why whispers of a blacklist began to spread. Dubai has always been careful about which celebrities it allows into its orbit. Performers are vetted, contracts are monitored, and reputations are taken seriously. Promoters don't want artists with messy scandals that could clash with the culture. And when you start dragging royalty into your feuds, the doors close fast. For 50 Cent, that silence is devastating. Dubai has long been a money-making hub for artists, lavish concerts, brand deals, and events that pay more in one night than a US tour might in a week. Being cut off from that world doesn't just bruise ego, it costs millions in potential income. And if insiders are right, 50 may have just learned the hard way that not all beefs are worth the bag. To really understand why 50 Cent went so hard at French Montana, you have to rewind. Their feud didn't begin with the Dubai engagement. It's been simmering for years. The two rappers have traded shots online, mocked each other's careers, and turned small wins into opportunities for public humiliation. For 50, clowning French has almost become second nature. One of the most infamous moments came in 2019, when French proudly showed off his Bugatti. Instead of congratulating him, 50 exposed paperwork suggesting the car was financed rather than paid for in cash. He dragged French online, mocking him for flexing something he didn't truly own. The incident went viral, with fans divided between laughter and sympathy. To 50, it was just another victory in a long line of beefs. To French, it was proof that 50 never missed a chance to tear him down. Fast forward to 2025, and the stakes are much higher. The Bugatti was one thing, but a royal marriage is entirely different. This wasn't just about luxury cars or jewelry. It was about legitimacy, power, and billions of dollars. By calling the engagement a hustle, 50 was essentially saying French had pulled off the biggest scam of his career. And while fans may have laughed at the punchline, the consequences were far from funny. This is where the difference lies. Rap beefs usually live on Instagram, diss tracks, and memes. But once you connect those insults to international royalty, the rules change. What 50 might have seen as just another jab at French was interpreted by Dubai as an attack on their family's reputation. And in their world, reputation is priceless. Hip-hop beef has always thrived on controversy. Diss tracks, Instagram posts, and public humiliation are all part of the culture. Fans eat it up, and rappers use it to stay relevant. But there's always been an unspoken rule: keep the fights inside the music industry. When 50 Cent called French Montana's engagement to Sheikha Mahra a scam, he stepped outside of those boundaries. Suddenly, this wasn't just rapper versus rapper. It became rapper versus royalty, and that's a game with stakes 50 may not have fully understood. The UAE operates on a code very different from the US. Their leaders spend billions ensuring the world sees Dubai as a global capital of luxury, stability, and prestige. Everything from skyscrapers to shopping malls is designed to reinforce that brand. The last thing they want is an American rapper suggesting their princess is involved in a fraudulent hustle. Even if it was just trolling, the optics were bad. And in politics and image management, optics can mean everything. Insiders claim the reaction was swift. Invitations that once flowed freely to 50 Cent suddenly dried up. No more appearances at elite events, no more headline performances in Dubai's lucrative nightlife scene. Even whispers of collaborations with UAE business moguls disappeared overnight. In the entertainment industry, silence often speaks louder than words, and the silence surrounding 50 became deafening. This wasn't the first time 50's mouth got him into trouble. His career is littered with moments where his trolling backfired. From feuds with Ja Rule to public shots at Diddy, he's always pushed boundaries. But this time, the consequences stretch beyond the US music scene. Losing access to Dubai doesn't just cut off a region, it closes the door to a global hub where artists cash in big. And that's the irony. In trying to clown French for securing a generational bag, 50 may have cost himself one of the biggest bags available. What started as a joke could now represent one of the most expensive lessons of his career. At its core, this saga between 50 Cent and French Montana is bigger than just hip-hop drama. It's a reminder that when music, money, and politics collide, the consequences can be unpredictable and costly. What might seem like harmless trolling on Instagram can quickly escalate when royalty and international reputation are involved. For French Montana, the engagement has cemented his place in a whole new league. Whether it's love or strategy, he's now linked to generational wealth and global influence. For 50 Cent, however, his attempt to expose the situation as a hustle may have backfired. Losing access to Dubai doesn't just hurt his touring schedule, it cuts off millions in revenue and damages long-standing business ties. The lesson is clear: hip-hop beef has its limits. You can clown rivals, roast their music, and even call out fake flexes. But when the feud touches royalty, politics, and billion-dollar reputations, the game changes. And that's why this moment will be remembered, not as another funny 50 Cent jab, but as the time his trolling cost him one of the most lucrative markets in the world.